Our speaker this morning is Daniel Schlegel. Daniel is a four-year student from Pottstown, PA. He is a member of the Ellis Theater Guild, a prefect in Foster, and the proud roommate of Zach Rubenzahl. Daniel?
Good morning, everyone. Do you know how hard it is to do this? To get up here and have the school involuntarily listen to you? 500 eyes all looking at you at once. Even as a performer, it's hard to say the things I want to say to lots of people. On the stage, I can play pretend. I can pretend all I want to have the superhuman strength of Jean Valjean, but it's all in our imaginations. In all seriousness, though, the reason why it's hard for me to do this is because every day I put on armor. What do I mean by this? Well, it's no secret that we, as students, must carry ourselves in a professional academic mindset at Hill. Some people have an easier time than others doing this, either because they're in their element, they find the right people, they're held in great respect, or they're simply popular. But others, myself included, have had a harder time adapting to the full conditions of high school life. The simple reality is, if students can't do what they're expected to do, both academically and socially, their path to success becomes significantly hindered, and their overall chances of success are decreased. You can all have your own definition of success. I certainly won't be preaching about academic success as some of my teachers could imagine. Everyone should be free to think and believe what they want as long as they don't force people to change who they are. When I first arrived at Hill, I wore no armor. I was living my purest, most authentic form of who I was. This version of me still exists today, though no longer so exposed as to be seen by people who aren't my closest friends or my most trusted teachers or adults. It's almost like a secret told to very few, and what a good secret it is. Underneath the armor, I'm happy. The kind of happy that isn't temporary or something you say to someone to vaguely describe how you feel in the moment. No, underneath the armor, I'm doing what it is I enjoy doing. I invest my time and energy into what makes me feel genuine joy. I can tell someone, anyone, without a doubt, the last time it was that I felt actual joy. I'm glad I get to say that. I used to be told all the time that I was a beam of positive energy in people's lives. People I know would have their worlds brightened up by my mere presence. People would say their hours of driving to Hill was worth it by getting to spend time with me. So what's wrong with this? What was so bad about what was beneath the armor? What is it about Daniel Schlegel that can't be seen, or rather, shouldn't be seen? Why hide this integral part of myself, something I'm more than willing to share with others, from others? For the longest time at Hill, this is who I was. I was living my truest, authentic self and feeling so much better because of it. How come that all went away? Because to be happy is to be stupid. To be happy is to be weird. Being happy is not knowing how others think about you. Happiness is blindness, blissfulness, naivety. Near the end of my third form year, I went and sat down with one of my friends. It was a buffet lunch, so we could sit and talk to whomever we wanted. I can't remember whose decision it was, but we sat next to two people in our same form. They seemed friendly on the outside, and I knew them both by name. And I was interested in striking a conversation. My friend and I began talking, but something felt wrong. It didn't feel like we were talking to someone, but talking at someone. There was no expressed interest being shared back onto us. All there was this look of amusement. Almost like an obvious joke that we didn't understand. These two then began to laugh. We didn't know what it was about, but my friend and I knew that it wasn't what we were talking about. It was like we were the punchline. Not only were we not taken seriously, but to them we couldn't be taken seriously. For the rest of the brief interaction, the pair began nodding their heads as if pretending to understand or care. They gave us false praise for opening our mouths. Once their game was over, they simply left. In that moment of confusion, I felt something different, something humiliating. They had taken with them their plates, silverware, and trash, but they also took something of mine. For the first time, they had taken my joy. The joy that was ever present before was torn out and replaced with a feeling deeper than shame, something I don't think I could ever describe. Not to my friends, not to my family, not to my counselors, and not to myself. I wasn't seen as a high school student. I was seen as a joke, a living, walking joke. I was no longer living the life I had been. As time went on, I began to experience more interactions like this from students whom I didn't talk to often. People who took the time to learn my name and my weaknesses before even once thinking about talking to me. Sometimes even my name wasn't worth saying right. The indescribable feeling only grew to the point where I became afraid of everyone not close to me at Hill. Not afraid that I would get hurt in a sense, but afraid more of my true identity would be torn away from me. The old Daniel Schlegel wasn't working for high school, so I had to make a new one. It was the same me, just with all the dumb, weird, and unacceptable parts removed, covered up. This is how I made the armor. I was no longer told I was the beam of positive energy that people used to know, because I myself had no positive energy to give or find. The years went on, and my armor grew tougher. It received many more dents, punctures, scratches, and burns. Every day I put it on, wore it, took it off at the day's end, and repeated the cycle. A year went by, and a special opportunity came around, an opportunity which was envied by all of my friends, the position of prefect, one of the most respected positions on campus. In the way it was described, it almost felt like the golden ticket. As many of you are well aware by now, prefects are given privileges beyond those of, for example, later lights out, a fridge, TV, the ability to punish other students. Imagine my excitement when finding out I got this position. Now imagine my immense embarrassment to know that becoming a prefect never changed who I was at the Hill School. Instead of boosting my status to an almost untouchable figure in the student body, I was treated with the same regard and seriousness as I was as a third former when I was well into my fifth form year. At one time, I had hope of somehow removing my armor without fear of being torn down by high school life. This was never true. And the realization was crippling. I stepped down from the prefect position without much remaining to show I had ever been a prefect in the first place. Now I know I'm not standing up here on this podium at 10 o'clock a.m. on a Monday trying to make anyone feel bad about themselves or sympathize with me. I don't want you to suddenly get the urge to talk to me because I said something mildly interesting or tugging on your heartstrings. Because I don't want you to think about me after this talk. I want you to think about you. Exactly you. Everyone in this room right now has armor on. I don't care who you think you are or how much you care about what I'm saying, but you have armor on right now. Down to a T, you wake up every morning and put on a face or a shirt or a hairstyle or a voice or a walk that doesn't speak to who you truly are. Everyone else acts a certain way, so you feel you need to as well. Because you wear armor, someone else is bound to feel like they should wear one too. This vicious cycle makes up the often toxic environment that is high school, which makes it seem impossible to change. With that said, I also want you to do another thing today. Don't remove your armor. You can't expose yourself to everyone because not everyone will accept who you are on the inside. And truth be told, many of you may not even want to show off who you are on the inside. And that's okay. What am I trying to say here? What does all this mean? It means you need to outwardly reflect. How does your armor make someone else feel? I'm not asking you to be your authentic self, but if someone younger than you, or shyer than you, or weaker than you is being their authentic self, let them be. Let them have the joy that you are jealous of, or scared of, or missing in your life. Don't allow your insecurity to dominate their world, because that joy that someone else is feeling, that pure, unadulterated happiness might just rub off on you. Maybe for a little bit, maybe never. Whatever the case, don't block out the sun for someone else's world. Hill isn't perfect. High school will never be perfect. But in this one fragile but explosive period in our lives, be someone decent. Be something decent. These whole 4 years for me have been a challenge. Many can find excitement and fun in a challenge, but their challenge is all the same. If I could say anything to those who unnecessarily made Hill more challenging for me, I would say this: make others happy while you can. I'm a sixth former now, and so many things are telling me to just let all of this go, to forget about the stress and the hardship. But even as my high school days are coming to an end, I want to use my position to help those who still have time. Even with my many challenges over the past 4 years, I have also had the joy of seeing when real happiness emits from people. Moments when they've lived as their authentic human selves has encapsulated the best moments of my time at Hill, bar none. From the boldness of performing 3 Stephen Sondheim musicals, to the unadulterated laughter while playing Cards Against Humanity, to the talking over each other during dinner, all the way to the simpler things, like taking a walk on a sunny May afternoon. I've taken moments from Hill that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Eventually, you'll all be where I am if you aren't already. Your mind will be out of high school and you'll already be on to what's coming next. In this position, you have so much significance. This gives you the perfect chance to put people less significant than you down. The chance to get away with hurting and overpowering those people. Ask yourself, would you leave them behind? Or would you be their older sibling and hold their hand through their journey? Don't let your happiness be the only happiness that exists around you. Put up your shield and put down your sword, because your world isn't the only world, and your armor isn't the only armor. Thank you.